Okay, so just sort of kind of at the very basin of the pelvis. Now start to just with your drishti set, find a place of stillness, be really tall through the spine, bring your awareness down to the base of your body. Taking a few deep breaths in, begin to notice the base of your body connecting to the ground below you. Having your hands palms face down on the top of your knees. Try not to bring your awareness to your hands, but to the knees below the hands, supporting the hands. Then draw your awareness down to your ankle joint. See if you can bring some awareness down into your feet and your toes. As we move through this practice today, I'd love for you to bring your mind back into feeling grounded and even through your feet. Feeling and noticing how you feel through your ankle joint, knee joint, hip joint, and through the lowest part of your spine. Take one more really deep breath in. And slowly exhale out. Let's find our way into a tabletop position. In tabletop pose for cat and cow today, I invite you to press the tops of your feet down into the floor. And when you do that, you'll notice that the shin bone presses down closer. And immediately as you press your feet down, you start to notice like an activation of a deeper core strength called Mula Bandha, which is the root engagement of our core. So you could also call it pelvic floor engagement. On the inhalation, drop your navel down towards the mat. Tailbone is lifting up, gazing maybe in front of you and pressing tops of the feet down. On the exhalation, keep the tops of the feet pressing and round into your cat pose. 3 cycles on your own, breathing in, breathing out. And coming back to a neutral position, walk your hands forward about a foot. Tuck your toes underneath. Reach your seat to the sky for a downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, bring your awareness down to your feet and just notice, do your feet feel comfortable? Is there like a bit of achingness or even like sleepiness? Just start to bring your attention there and begin to pedal out your feet. Okay, and then finding a place of stillness, bend your knees a little bit. And I want you to start to kind of bounce on your knees in your downward facing dog. Now, anytime through this class that you notice that your mind is really drifting, I want you to come back to this bouncing down dog. I know it seems a little bit silly, but it really brings the energy to your feet, to your legs, your ankles, knee joints, and hip joints. So just start to bring that bounce. Notice how you feel. Now, find a place of stillness in the down dog. Bring your awareness into your feet, ankles, and knees, and notice if anything has shifted already. Take your right leg and stretch it up to the sky. Bend your knee and draw your heel over towards the opposite shoulder blade, stacking the right hip on top of the left. Even through your shoulders and your palms. Bend your left knee and do a couple of bounces, bringing that energy to the root of your body. Now let's straighten the leg. Take your right leg high, step it through between your palms. When you come into your low lunge, right hand's going to reach up towards the sky. We'll find a place of stillness. Couple of deep breaths here. Release your hand down and step it back into downward facing dog. In the down dog, send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. And from here, you can start to bend your right knee. Take a couple of little bounces with the right knee bending. Pause and open up a little bit more. Then square the hips. Send your foot through between your palms. Left hand's lifting up to the sky. Taking your twist. Feel grounded through your feet, but try to eliminate a gripping sensation. So not gripping on or holding too tightly through the toes. Reach a little bit taller with an inhale. When you exhale, plant your hands, step forward to the top of your mat. Take your feet hip width apart and ragdoll pose, fold forward. I like to bend the knees quite deeply and then push the ground away to get a little deeper. Head is hanging heavy. And then find a point of stillness in which to just let go. Let go of the weight of the upper body. Let go of the weight of your head. Feel your mind really present in your body. Feel feet, maybe your calves, noticing the elongation in the space that's being created through the hamstrings. Release your hands down towards the ground. Press down into your feet, knees will bend, and then push the floor away to rise up into mountain pose, stretching tall, arms reach up. Join palms together and draw them to your heart center. Feel your feet grounded, steady and strong. Close your eyes and repeat gently in your mind, I am safe. I am centered. I am supported. Take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, open eyes, relax hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms reach to the sky for mountain Shavasana. Exhale, folding forward, knees can bend, hands can swan dive or through your heart center. On your inhalation, come to a halfway lift. Plant your hands, and to be more grounded today, on the exhalation, let's lower all the way down to the mat, nice and slow. On the inhalation, come into a cobra. If you want, you can press into your hands and move as high as feels comfortable for your spine. Chin comes down to your mat. Tuck your toes under. Press to knees and then downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, dropping the heels a little closer to the earth. Another inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, root down to your feet. One more time, breath in. Empty it out. Then step lightly to the top of your mat. Inhales, half lift. Exhale to fold. Press through your feet and rise to a mountain pose, stretching upward. Folding forward, exhale out. Inhales a halfway lift flat back. Plant your hands, step back to high plank pose, lowering down all the way, or if you're craving chaturanga, don't hesitate. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale. As you breathe and push into the palms, reach the seat high. When you exhale, thigh bones press back, heels drop down. One more time, in breath. Exhale out. Step or hop forward. Inhales, half lift. Exhale to fold. Reach into the sky, mountain pose, last sun A. Folding forward, feel supported by your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back, lowering down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you get into the down dog, if you'd like to, you can bounce the knees or bounce the heels a little bit if that feels okay. Good, next inhalation, gaze your hands, step or hop it forward. Halfway lift as you breathe in, feet are hip width apart, and exhale, fold forward. This wider stance helps us to feel stable, so on the inhale, rise into a mountain pose, keeping your feet hip width apart. We're sitting back into our chair pose. Start with your hands at your heart center. Shift your weight towards your heels and float the toes up off the mat. Press down into the big toe mound of the foot. And keep the toes lifted to bring more energy to the base of the pose. Also engages and lifts the arches of the feet. The arms are going to reach up towards the sky. Sit back a little bit deeper, breathing steadily. Here, this lower abdominal engagement is so important. So start to draw the lowest part of your abdominals gently towards the spine. Take a deeper breath in and fold forward. Exhale out. Toes can relax to the mat. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back and lower down. Inhale to upward or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take right leg high as you breathe in. On your exhalation, step your foot behind your right hand. We're coming into a wider warrior one stance. So in the warrior one, if you'd like to, instead of heel to heel alignment, you can actually have your right foot further out, so we have a really wide base. And the arms are going to reach up towards the sky. If you notice that this disagrees with you in any way, you are the expert on your body, so do not hesitate. Take a more narrow stance. Good. Now just relaxing the toe gripping, press into the feet. Front thigh sinks. Good. And then just observe and notice how you feel through the lower half of your pose. Take another deep breath in. On the exhalation, arms reach back like airplane wings for a power warrior. In the power warrior, try to lift out of the right hip crease. So we don't want to crush or compress the hip crease. It's like tuck of chin to chest. Feel, maybe if the legs are shaking, that's okay. Actually, when your legs shake in poses, it can help us to bring more energy into that root chakra. So this is really good for balancing. If you're really shaking a lot like I am, then hopefully we're doing this balancing for others as well. On the inhale, reach your arms to the sky, tall warrior. Plant your hands, step it back and lower down. The elbows hug tight to the sides as you lower. Inhale's cobra, try to press into your feet. And downward facing dog. Take left leg to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, step left foot forward. If you want, you can take it wide in your warrior one. Wider stance is really nice if you do have naturally tighter hips. And if you have any issues with your knees or knee pain, the wider stance can be helpful. And again, bring your awareness into your body and notice. I think one of the greatest things about being really grounded and embodying this experience through life is that we can take agency and know that we are in charge of our experience. We can make adjustments or simply say no thank you if something does not work. Take a deep breath in. On the exhalation, lean forward, power warrior. Good, be aware of your left hip crease. Lift up high enough so that we're not compressing or crunching the crease. Soften any gripping through your toes. Steady your breath. And welcome a little shaking. That shaking is bringing the energy flow, right? In order to get rid of blockages, we're going to have to do some work, so it might get a little hard. Breathe deeply. Next, inhale, arms reach to the sky, press into the front foot. Then plant your hands, step it back, high plank. Slide forward and lower. Inhale is cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. We're going to do one more time. Breathe and get long through the spine. Exhale out, root down through the heels. Then look to your hands, step lightly to the top of your mat. Inhale's half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, mountain Tadasana. Sitting back into your chair pose, beginning with the hands at the heart. Float the toes up as you reach your arms high for a taller chair. Fold forward, exhale, toes can relax to your mat. Inhale, halfway lifting. Plant your hands, step back, lowering down. Inhale, cobra or up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg as high as you breathe in. Exhale, step it forward. Push into the feet as you rise to warrior one. Power warrior, airplane the arms. Inhale, reach to the sky. Plant your hands, step back, lowering down. Really move with your breath. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left leg lifting. Step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Take it back into airplane arms. Exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Plant hands, step back, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Then downward facing dog. One more time through. Take the right leg high. Stepping it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Airplane your arms. Breathe in again for warrior one. Plant your hands, slowing it down as you lower. Inhale, lifting up. Downward facing dog. Last time through at your own pace. Lift the left leg. Guide yourself through. Breathe in the downward facing dog. Find a point of stillness. Steady point of focus for your eyes. Try to plug in evenly into your palms. And notice if you're rolling to the outside edge of your feet or too much inward, balancing out the weight on your feet. Take your right leg up to the sky as you breathe in. On your exhalation, crescent lunge. Step your foot forward. Option to keep knee lifted or place the knee down. Arms reach the sky when you're ready. Now, with the arms reaching up, just take a moment to move your back heel forward and back. Then just find the center of the pose. Pressing through the back heel, sinking front thigh down. Now, right thigh bone and left thigh bone hug towards each other at the center of the pose. Reach a little taller through the arms. Good, then guide your hands together at your heart center. Lean it forward and twist to the right, revolve crescent lunge. Can you lift up and away from the right hip crease? Slide the right hip back slightly. And if you'd like to, you can send your gaze gently over your right shoulder. Keep stretching energy through your left heel or your back heel. One more breath in. On the exhalation, placing your hands down onto your mat. Okay, once your hands are on your mat, we'll take lizard pose. Walk your right foot out and place your back knee down onto the mat and untuck your toes. Here, what I'd really love for us to do is focus on hugging your right knee into your right shoulder. That action helps us to engage more energy flow to the very base of the spine and also to the inner thigh, the hip joint region. Keep hugging. Good, now let's release that. Once you've released it, you are welcome to take your knee and spin it a little bit more to the right. Okay, maybe you take your right hand to your thigh and you allow your thigh bone to roll away from your heart. If it feels okay, start to bend your back knee, reach back and capture your foot. And then releasing the hands, walk the right foot over towards the middle line of your mat. Step it back into a high plank pose. In high plank, let's set up for side plank. Slide your right hand an inch or two forward. Roll over to the right, sweeping the left hand to the sky. We can have feet scissored. You can stack your feet, or if you'd like to, you can start floating one foot upward. Breathe there. If you can smile, that's a good sign you haven't gone a little too far, right? You're right in that sweet spot. One more in-breath. Plant your hand, and very mindfully, we lower ourselves down. Inhale can be cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale is downward facing dog. Next inhalation, we're taking the left leg high. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Crescent Anjaneyasana. Forward and back on the back heel. Then find and establish your center. Inner thighs hug towards one another to stabilize. And if you can, soften any gripping through the toes. Hands will come to your heart center. Leaning it forward. Twist to the left side. Be mindful of creating some space through the left hip crease. You can send your gaze over your shoulder. Press energy through your back heel. To move energy, we breathe. The breath is the flow of energy or prana, so deepen your breath. If the breath gets a little sticky or stuck in a place in the pose, send your awareness there even more. One more breath in. On the exhalation, hands release down, lizard pose. You can place your back knee down onto the mat. Let's begin by hugging left shoulder with the left knee. Hug, engage. Hips can gently come forward. Now relax that engagement and roll to the outside edge of your foot. If you'd like to take your left hand to your quad and roll it away from your heart center, sending your gaze towards your back foot, and working towards bending back knee. Maybe we're grabbing the foot. Releasing back foot. Walk the left foot towards the middle line of your mat. Step it back into a plank position. When you get into plank pose, left hand is sliding forward. Roll it to the left and sweep the right hand to the sky. Side plank Vashisthasana. Stacking your feet. Feel the support of your left palm underneath you, the strength of the shoulder. One more in-breath. Release the hand down, lowering into a low climber to the mat. Inhale, lifting the heart up and downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Big exhale out. Bigger in-breath. Hear the sound of your exhale, ground you to this moment, anchor you to the present. Take the inhale and reach the right leg up. Exhale, step a right foot forward. Warrior two, spin the back foot flat. Take your time as you rise up. This is our first warrior two. We can find the front heel aligning with the heel of the back foot. Front thigh is sinking. Engage and hug the thigh bone of the back leg. Press into the feet, but relax your toes. And then just observe and notice your breath. As you breathe deeply, set your focus. One more in breath. On the exhale, side angle pose. Right hand can reach down towards the floor or elbow on thigh. Left hand is stretching to the sky. Hug the upper arm with your knee. Then press the upper arm into the knee. Soften through the toes. Breathe down into the legs and feet. Next inhalation is a reverse warrior. Keep your warrior two legs. Right hand is high. And sink front thigh down. Gaze towards your back foot. Soften and gripping in your toes. Engage the legs a little more. Now half moon pose. Take the right hand in front of you. You could place it on a yoga block or place it on the ground, about 1.5 feet or so in front of the toes. Left hand is high. Now really flex your left foot and push through your heel. Try to fan out your toes a little bit. Stepping it back into a reverse warrior. Take a breath in, stretch back. On the exhale, let's flow through and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take left leg to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, left foot is stepping forward. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana. You can go ahead, shift forward and back. In the story of Virabhadrasana, and the god Shiva, we learned that violence never ever ends well, right? So allowing your temper to lead you to the point where you're going to use force, right? To physically, mentally, or emotionally overpower another will never ever end up leading you in the right direction. So when we take this warrior, we're cultivating the ability to stand confidently in our own inner strength, knowing that we are centered, secure, right? So at home in our own being, that we truly don't spend so much time worrying, trying to protect ourselves, our property. We know that we are secure. Let's reach forward and release your hand down for a side angle pose. Reach up to the sky. Really plug into your front foot. Hug the knee in towards the upper arm. Now really engage your back foot and bring your awareness to your back toes. Soften them, fan them out. Reverse your warrior. Pull yourself up. Try to stay low in your warrior two legs. Even if it's shaking, you're building a bit of a bonfire, that's good. We want to try to get rid of the blockages. Allow life force to flow. Allow a feeling of confidence and strength. One more breath. Half moon pose. Take left hand forward. Floating your back leg up. Push through the heel. Now really press through the ball of your right foot as well and fan out your toes. What if you relax the toes of your standing leg? Now let's step it back. Take a reverse warrior. Breathe in deeply. Plant hands. Let's flow through, meeting in downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Taking an inhale. Exhale out if you'd like to sigh. One more time. Breathe in. Big sigh out. Send the right leg up to the sky in your inhale. On the exhalation, step it forward. Inhaling up into a warrior two again. And when you get to warrior two, place your hands on your hips. Preparing for triangle pose by straightening your front leg. Toe heel your back foot in about a half a footprint closer. Now, allow your left hip to slide forward. Okay, so your heart center is turned towards the top left corner of your mat. Reach the right hand forward. Reach forward, and as you do so, the left hip is going to draw forward a little more, and then allow the hand to come down to the shin, ankle, or the mat. Now, adding a little bit more to this pose, float the toes of the right foot up and press down into the big toe mound of your foot. Left hand can stay in your hip or can reach up towards the sky. In Trikonasana triangle pose, hug your thigh bones with your thigh muscles and stretch the crown of your head away from your tailbone. Release your left hand down towards the mat. You can also place your hand onto a block or your shin. It's also okay to bend your standing leg, or your right leg rather. Now from there, let's move into our twist. Send your left hand up to the sky. That would be your right hand. Right hand's reaching up to the sky. Right hip slides back a touch more. Inner thighs hug towards each other. If you want really to bring awareness to your leg, float your right toes up, press into the big toe mound of your foot. Releasing the right hand down, pyramid pose, pulled over the front thigh. Chin is working towards chest. And in this pose, as we take a couple more breaths, just repeat the mantra, I am at home in my body. Beautiful. Bend your right knee, plant your hands. Okay, go ahead and spin your toes to face towards the left side or long edge of your mat for Prasarita, separate leg forward fold. Begin to walk your hands into the space between your feet. Drop and surrender the weight of your head. If you want, you can bend your knees and push the floor away with your feet a little bit. Hands will walk out in front of you. Left hand stays on the ground. Take your right hand and reach it up to the sky. Hug your inner thighs towards one another and then deepen your twist. Release the hand down. Try the opposite side. Left hand's lifting up. Inner thighs hug towards each other. Your feet are stuck to your sticky mat, but it's almost like you're trying to slide your feet in closer to each other. And then release the hand down. Heels will lift up, turn it forward. Plant your hands, will flow through and meet in downward facing dog. Take your left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot forward. Rising up into your warrior two. And we'll be preparing for the triangle pose. Straighten your front leg. Toe heel your back foot in, a half of a footprint closer. Allow your right hip to slide forward. Left hand's gonna reach towards the front of the room. The right hip can slide forward and then placing the hand down on the shin, ankle or the ground. Begin to float your left toes up and press into the pad of your foot. Reaching tall through the right hand is optional. And then start stretching through the crown of your head. One more breath in. Then releasing the right hand down, please feel free to bend your standing leg. Okay, we're gonna move into revolving triangle pose next. So the right hand can be on the mat, a yoga block, or your shin. Then slide your left hip back and send the the left hand up to the sky for your twist. Option to float the front toes up for more engagement of the arches of the feet. Here we'll release the hand down, bend your standing leg, and pivot towards the long edge of your mat for Prasarita. And this time in Prasarita, let's pigeon toe the toes a little bit. So the toes in, the heels are slightly out. From there, interlace or clasp your hands at the small of your back and draw the knuckles up overhead to open up your shoulders and chest. Bring your awareness back into your feet and see if you can press even into the soles of your feet. And release your hands down towards your mat. Walk your hands over to your right foot and send your right hand high to the sky. Release the hand down and walk the hands over to the left foot. Take the left hand, reach it up. And then release, walk the hands forward, and then from here, we're gonna step back, move through your flow. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. When you get to down dog, bend your knees, add the little down dog bounce. Maybe to notice if you feel like you have more power and energy through your feet and your lower legs. Maybe not, right? That's okay, just observe what you're feeling. Now we're looking to our hands and step or hop forward. Halfway lift on the inhale. Fold forward, exhale. The feet are hip width apart. Press down to reach tall. Mountain pose. Guide your hands to your sides with your palms facing forward. Moving into airplane balance. Shift the weight onto the right foot. Draw your left knee to your chest. Flex the foot. Now start to straighten your left leg. Bring the leg forward. Press through your heel. Bend your knee and send your leg back for airplane balance. The challenge today is try not to grip your toes to the mat. Woo! Really engage and press through your back heel. Now let's rise back up to our one-legged mountain. Knee is lifting. Set it down. Hands come to the heart. Try to avoid fidgeting and be on your feet. Stand tall. Hands at your sides, palms face forward. Right knee lifts up. Lift from your core and send your right foot straight forward. Push through your heel. Right now, airplane pose, send the legs straight back. Lean forward, avoid gripping your toes to the mat. Come back up to your one-legged mountain pose, reaching up. Release the foot, bring the hands to the heart. Pause for a moment. Here we're going to turn towards the left side of our mat, so we have a little bit more space. You can move to the middle of your mat as well. Standing hand to foot pose is next. Take your right arm and reach it out to the side. Take your left hand to your knee. You can also reach down and grab your big toe with your two-piece fingers and stretching your left foot forward. Turn your gaze to your right hand and draw your foot out. Come back to the center. Release slowly down. Pause for a moment and feel even on your feet. And one of the hardest things about staying grounded is the urgency to move forward to the next thing very quickly, right? So just feel yourself pause, being okay with the moment of stillness. Then let's do the other side. The left arm is reaching out. Here we're reaching the right hand to the knee, or you can grab your big toe, kicking the foot forward. Send your foot out to the side. You can gaze towards your left fingertips. Come back to the center, releasing the foot down. Stay where you are. Pause and feel your feet, the steadiness, the strength. It takes so much confidence, security, and awareness of the support and the love that surrounds us. Just stay in a place of loving kindness. Now, even when our fears are triggered, we pause, we center, we breathe, we reconnect, right? And we remember what's important to us, to be loving and peaceful. Slide the sole, the weight into the sole of your right foot for tree, left toes to ankle, sole of foot to calf or inner thigh. Now try to lift up out of the right hip crease a little bit. Arms can reach up towards the sky. Hands come through the heart and release the foot down. Opposite side. You can take the toes to the ankle, sole of foot to calf or inner thigh. Press into the palms, reach up. And as you do this tree pose and you reach tall, let's bring like the intention in that everybody, everywhere is going to choose the high road, is going to look at the big picture, is to remember that what is most important, okay, is loving kindness and peace, compassion and empathy. When we are all in that place, we all feel secure. Take one more in-breath and then release the foot down. Travel towards the top of your mat. Sweep the arms to the sky in an inhale. And when you exhale, fold forward. Now it's time for our feet to lift up off the mat and for us to see how we feel secure in our bodies by moving into the crow pose. Crow posture, you could say, is a practice of moving into fear, facing fear, right? And then also knowing that you can take it as far as you feel comfortable. So bend your elbows straight back. Place the knees on the triceps or the elbows and begin to shift your weight forward. Here we can look towards the front of the mat. I always like to reach the crown of the head forward. Lift one foot, maybe you're lifting both feet. Play a little bit. As I'm doing this, Reggie is like licking my foot. So if you don't have a dog licking your toes, you have it easier than I do. We're moving into a Malasana yoga squat. Malasana yogi squat is honestly one of the best poses you can do for your root. It drops your tailbone really low, brings a lot of energy into the feet, helps to improve the flow of energy through the ankles, the knees, the hip joints. Hands can be on the ground, or you can bring your hands up to your heart. If you'd like a little bit more intensity, interlace your fingers, press your palms down, and then reach the palms up towards the sky. Or maybe a lot more intensity. Okay. Keep breathing. Breathing. Release the hands down. Lift your seat up. Sway your hips side to side. Beautiful work, guys. Walk your feet into hip width apart. Plant your palms. Step back into a plank position. When you get into plank pose, lower down onto your forearms. Once you get onto your forearms, okay, we want to have the hips at about the same height as your shoulders. It might even want to dip a little bit lower than the shoulders so you can really activate your core. We're here for another 5, 4,
Lift through the quadriceps. 3, 2. Now relax onto your mat. Once you're on your mat, we'll be taking Sphinx Pose. Elbows are underneath the shoulders, palms flat. Draw your gaze slightly forward. Now press the tops of your feet down and see if you can stretch your toes away from your tailbone. Draw your breastbone forward away from the toes. One more breath in. Then we're releasing it all down. Arms can be at your sides, palms up. Flip one cheek to your mat and take a moment to breathe. Soften your resistance to gravity and allow your body to sink into your mat. Then bring the chin back onto the mat. Arms are going to be at your sides. Palms can be face up or down. I always like palms up. I feel like I can recruit more upper back and tricep strength that way, but you know your body. Today, I'd love for you guys to try bringing your feet together and just see if you feel a difference when you squeeze your legs together. On the inhale, lift the chin, chest, arms up. Then begin to float the feet up. If it does not feel good to have the legs together, go ahead and separate them. Keep reaching through the fingers and reaching for your toes. Lift up just a little bit more and relax it all down. Arms are at your sides. Flip the opposite cheek and let your heels drop open. Rest on the ground. As you breathe, feel a sense of the ground lifting up to support you, to hold you. One of the very best things for the energy of the root chakra is touching the ground. Bare feet in the grass, laying in the sand, lying on the earth. Even in the middle of the winter, I've been known to just plop myself in a snowsuit in a big pile of snow and do snow angels, mainly for the reason of balancing the root chakra. And it's also really fun, and you should do fun things. Right? Let's go ahead and bring the chin onto the mat. Bend your knees, draw heels in towards your seat, reaching back to capture your feet for bow pose. Feet will be hip width apart now. On the inhalation, kick your feet into your hands. And as you're kicking your feet into your hands, you can choose if you want to start floating your knees up off the ground. Now, fan out your toes and reach the toes back and up. 3, open up 2, and release down. Flip the opposite cheek, close your eyes, melt into your mat. As you breathe, lying on your belly, what I'd like for you guys all to do is go ahead and bend your elbows and bring them to the top of the mat and just rest your cheek on the back of your hands. Keep breathing and bring your awareness down into the space that lies between your tailbone and your pubic bone. Send your breath there and imagine as you breathe there that all the blockages are cleared through the gates of your hips, the knee joint, the ankle joint. The energy, the breath flows down to the legs unimpeded, and there is a beautiful feeling of security and safety. But remembering that there will always be enough. And whenever things get challenging, chaotic, or noisy in our outside world, we can always come back to our inner retreat, this place within us that is always peaceful, quiet, and safe. Now, let's go ahead and bring the chin onto the mat. Place your hands over your shoulders. Ease yourself up onto your knees. Once you're on your knees, sweep your heels out to the side, and then come to sitting on your mat. Once we are sitting on our mats, we're going to lie back. Bridge pose. Now, in bridge pose, we actually have a really good opportunity to bring some more energy into the feet. So just start to stamp your feet on the floor. You don't have to go fast. You don't even have to make it noisy. Like if you live in an apartment, don't be too noisy for the people below you, right? Just bring some awareness to that feeling of your feet. This is why a lot of people, when they've had a really stressful day, want to go for a run, because it actually, the feet pounding on the earth is what helps to bring energy back into the root. So if you love running, keep doing it. Yeah, if it helps you to feel like you could clear out your worries, anything that's like making you
feel really tense, or like I always say, like claws out. I gotta walk or go hiking or something, or do some yoga. All right, place the feet down now. Just pause for a moment and notice the after effect of that. Do you feel a little bit tingly through your feet, your shins, your knees? That's the energy flow. Now we'll move into our bridge pose. Press evenly through the feet, hips lift up to the sky. Okay, you can engage your legs, engage your glutes to help you lift. And take in the arms underneath, interlacing your fingers. Now we want to press evenly into the feet. Try floating your toes up. Notice how when you float your toes up and you press down the big toe mound of the foot in bridge, you can feel your arches have lifted. You can maybe even notice that your quadriceps engage more. And that maybe, if we can, we'll notice that there's more freedom through the low spine, especially the sacrum and low back. One more in-breath, the toes float, push into the balls of the feet, and then lower your hips down. Sway your heels from side to side. In our second, if you want to do bridge or if you want to take wheel pose, I'll talk us through wheel. The bridge is all yours if you want it. Try keeping your toes lifted if you're doing bridge. Take the hands behind the shoulders for wheel. Press into the palms. Press into the feet and lift up to the palms, arms a little straighter. Now, those of you that are used to wheel pose, try floating your toes up and notice how much more stretch you get to the front body. Now, knees drop forward, crown of head drops down towards the mat. And let's lower down. Woo, you get all the way down. And then windshield wiper your knees. Arms can rest at your sides. Take the knees into the chest, give them a nice hug. We'll be moving into our hips now. And to move into the hips, we're going to lie on our back and stay grounded for the rest of this practice. So start with the left foot on the ground. Take the right ankle and cross it over the top of the thigh for Supine Pigeon. You're welcome to keep your left foot on the ground, or you can draw your left knee in towards your chest. Hands can interlace behind your left thigh or the top of the shin. Keep the back of your head resting on the mat. Soften through your shoulders, face and jaw. The root chakra is something to pay attention to. If you notice that you spend a lot of your mental energy worrying about money, right? Sometimes we do have to worry about money, but maybe if it's not really logical, that would be something to think about. In times of transition, anyone that's going through a breakup, divorce, or a big move, like a move to a new home, the root chakra needs some energy. Anyone that's experienced trauma, any kind of form of abuse, the root chakra needs a lot of extra just attention and care. And no matter what our past holds, our circumstances, or our stories, we have the power to find our way back to feeling safe, secure, and centered. We have the power to find our way back home into our being, to reclaim our rights, and to truly empower ourselves. So not holding on to our old stories, but just being aware of the places that we may need to just give more attention. Okay, let's release this side. Take your feet onto the mat and do a little windshield wiper. Let's do the opposite side. You're going to take your left ankle, cross it. Draw your knee in. Here, if you want, you can hold behind your right thigh. Let's feel the upper body relax, softening to your face. Now on this side, what I would really love for you to do is bring into your mind a memory of a feeling where you felt really strong on your own 2 feet. You felt the ability to stay calm, even in the middle of chaos, or stress, or storm. Maybe any time that you've gone into the inner retreat to reconnect with the peace that always moves through you every day, in every moment. You might even notice that you're starting to breathe deeper, because the breath is what helps us to anchor the root. When we breathe with awareness and we can feel our breath, It helps us to be really present and to be at home, and to feel at home wherever we are. Take one more breath in. Beautiful work, guys. Release that. Now take your right foot up to the sky. Hold behind your thigh, calf or the top of the foot. Try flexing your foot though, wherever you're holding, and draw the leg back, noticing where exactly you feel the stretch. Every one of us is different. Today I'm really feeling it in my lower calf. Most days I usually feel it in the sole of my foot. Maybe for you it's all hamstring, right? Or low back. Just feel it. Now let's release this side. Set the foot down and try the other side. Hold behind the thigh, calf, top of foot. Really flex your foot strongly and push to your heel. Draw the leg back towards you. And as you move through your class today, maybe you did notice, like, wow, I didn't really connect the dots that I was feeling heavy through my legs, or that I really was feeling some unusual discomfort through my feet. And that's okay. We brought lots and lots of energy to the root, opening up those gates, clearing the obstacles in the path of flow of life force and energy. Take the feet down to the floor. Okay, draw your knees into your chest and take your arms out like a capital T. You can stay here in gentle twist knees together, or cross right leg up over left leg for twisted root. Drop your knees to the left side of your mat. And today I'd like for you just to let your chin stay centered, so the upper body's really relaxed. Breathe down deep into this twist and really bring the breath down into the sacrum, the lowest part of the spine, the tailbone. Observe and notice if you're feeling sensations through the hips or the outer leg. Then take your knees back to the center, and we're going to take the opposite side. And as we journey into the twist on this side, let's have compassion, loving kindness towards ourselves. I think often we can beat ourselves up and leak a lot of energy, shaming ourselves when we do feel a little bit afraid or a little insecure or uncertain. Know that these are times of uncertainty. But in the middle of these moments, we can come back to our tools anytime we need them. We can waste not one drop of energy on shaming ourselves, but simply breathe, get onto our feet, get into our bodies, and come back home to ourselves. Come back to the center and bring the bottoms of your feet together. And let your knees butterfly open. Here the arms are at your sides, palms face up. You can slide your shoulder blades one at a time down so you feel really relaxed with the upper body. Let go of resisting gravity and just sink into the mat. Eyes will close. Stay in this Supta Baddha Konasana as long as you like. And when you are ready to move into Shavasana, you can stretch your legs out long in front of you. One of the philosophies of Shavasana is that when we come to our yoga mats, every time we practice Shavasana or corpse pose. We practice becoming really comfortable with one of our biggest fears, which is the end, right? But instead of being afraid, just embrace the ability to surrender and sink. Knowing that every Shavasana is always followed by a fetal pose. The fetal pose marks the new beginning. As yoga practitioners, we root and ground ourselves in the truth that everything that ends is simply a new beginning. So just allow yourself to sink into that knowing, that feeling, that trusting the endings, surrendering, moving inward, peaceful. If you have additional time and you'd like to lie here longer, please do. You can start to bring some movement to your toes and your fingers. Stretch your arms long above your head. Bend one knee at a time, sliding the heels in, and then roll over to your right side. Fetal pose, or you can even think about it as seedling pose, the new beginning. We have set down all that was weighing us down. We have rooted ourselves. We are grounded, centered, stronger than before. And let's come back to a cross-legged seat where we began our practice. Bring your hands together at your heart center now, in tall spine. Breathe expansively and feel the base of your body. When we are rooted and the life force is flowing freely within our being, when we are grounded and centered, we not only feel that connection to all is a concept, we know it within our being. It is a truth that is unavoidable when we are grounded. So as we move off our mats today, let's move with that awareness that we are all connected, that every being, okay, is loved. Let's reach out in kindness, compassion, and empathy. Take one more breath in and bow gently forward. Namaste.